to either Australia or the American continent. And even before that, the Vikings are the ones who came over to the Americas. And they didn't try to conquer it. It's only the Europeans, the colonists.
Okay. Welcome, Tiger. Do you want to join the conversation about the prompt?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great.
Just gonna go to another room.
No worries. Um, I just find it interesting how quickly some, let's say, true colors came out a second ago with all the, it's supposed to be a spiritual question and answer, right? Or dialogue. So quickly people went to blaming convicts into Australia and immigration and essentially talk about slavery. But the deeper question for me, if we're talking about truth, spirituality, is literally who are we? Like I talk about this stuff all the time. Like there's so much identity, politics, identity, confusion, identity wars. But what are we really? Are we not just human? Can we not start there? You know, the divide and conquer is so simple to do and it works all the time. And I just saw it on this live. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And we skip past the simple truth.
So, Tiger, if you look at TikTok, for example, if you just have a loving channel, right? Imagine just a nice Christian channel where he just wants to preach love and peace and try and get guests, right? Compare that to someone that raised bait and brings in ops on the T side or whatever it is, whether it's Republican, Democrat, trans, cis, BLK, YTT, religion, this, that. You'll just find that we're just split and divided. That it should be love. Yeah, this guy's got a point, man. If we all just realize we're all part of the same world, we're all human beings, we all share consciousness, we're all capable of love, we're all capable of amazing things. I think it's just the government keeps us distracted, ties us down. Look at COVID. Look how, if you were in England, remember it was COVID, scare, COVID, scare. Do you remember the day when it changed from COVID to the Ukraine war? And it was almost just like it didn't exist anymore on the media. Just like literally within a day, the whole narrative changed. And I was just like, that's a bit weird. Does COVID not matter anymore? But it didn't to the government, because then they can send billions of our taxpayer dollars to fund a war. Do you know what I mean? But we can't house our own homeless, and we can't feed children. And so many children in poverty, and so many people on welfare, and so many people have mental health issues from COVID and depression. I'm on PIP. I'm still working, but I had to cut my hours because I had to break down. It was just too much. Like, the government don't care about you, man. They just care about money. Just look at it that way.
Yeah, I totally hear where you're coming from, and I do remember that time. Kind of hard not to remember that time, and I understand what you mean about the correlation with it going to that particular war so quickly, and all of a sudden we were so-called free um, from the lockdown. But at the end of the day, as well, I understand the frustration that you're saying. I really do, like I really do. But we also have to look at solutions, of course. And lots of people say, "Oh, what's the solution? What's the solution?" For me, it's very simple. Um, but a lot of the time, that which is simple doesn't have as much thrills or doesn't have as much of a quick burn, so people don't want to do it. And for me, what I live by is be the change you want to see in the world. That's my thing, like 100% up and down. Be the change you want to see in the world. You cannot change other people, literally. So we can get pissed, or oh, sorry, take that language back. We can get annoyed at people, at the world, at others, at your neighbor. Okay, I get that. Why are they doing this? Why do that? Constantly pointing fingers. I do understand it. I do understand it. But the mind itself is always going to seek some type of story. That's what the mind does. It works on stories. It can't rest. It can't settle. When the mind settles, like if you're meditating, for example, or if you're trying to meditate, let's say, the mind tries to fight back and gives you random images, right? So all of this, like what the media is doing, like you said, and governments and things, to distract us, because yeah, they know they're not stupid. It's very easy to feed the mind. It's very easy to feed in mind.
I've got so much love. Going to happen. I'm
No.
getting like, what's the analogy in that movie? Is it ants? Remember on Bugs Life? Like, right. Yeah, do you know what I mean? The locust is like, right. You realise that this ant with the idea, it's almost just like an analogy for what happens in life. He said, this ant with the idea, right? If we don't stop it,
Can
right,
I come
we're
in?
gonna look and it's gonna be all ants. Guess what? There's more ants. There's more poor people that on this earth that we could eat the rich if we needed to.
Can I reply? I totally hear you. I totally hear you. But again, you haven't contradicted what I just said. Even using the analogy of that movie, it still starts with one. That's literally what that Ant movie was about. It started with one. So you could be that one. I could be that one. You understand?
No, I get
It still starts with
nobody
one.
tries, nothing will happen. That's it. If nobody tries,
Exactly.
does it,
So there's no point in saying, oh, this person got off, that person got off. I hear you. Trust me, I get it. But end of the day, what you can do, bro, is you can start with yourself. You can start with yourself.
Tiger, slow down. Tiger, slow down. Collar, slow down. Can I welcome Aussie, Jester Mr. Jingles? Can I introduce Aussie? What's your take on this?
What's my take on what the prompt is?
Yeah, what the prompt is and what they were saying. Does it have any correlation with you at all?
No, it definitely does, but you also need to have the other thing that Flick didn't really have until everyone started looking at him from the movie Ants. Actually, I think it was A Bug's Life that you were talking about. But yeah, he didn't have the media coverage or people seeing him for who he was until it was about halfway through the movie, you know? Everyone didn't like him, they shunned him, they tucked him away. He had his very close circle of friends, but he needed to be seen by all in order to make a change.
It still starts with the one, though.
That's right, it starts with the one, but it needs to have like-minded ones.
I
think
no, go on.
this is the issue with the media nowadays. So if you look at back in the days, they controlled the news, they controlled what you read in the newspapers. Now we have the internet, right? So now we have free information. So now you have the truth sayers that come out, like even Joe Rogan. I get hurt, and I've seen Theo Von with certain people on his cast, Jordan Peterson, even Andrew Tate. I don't believe in the guy, but like some of the things you can take good out of bad. So some of the things he said you can take as positive. Clean your room, yeah. Start off with it, you know, get a good mental headspace. So, but yeah, like it's, mate, I'm with you, man. It's just one of those things. So I think that's why they introduced that bill in the UK to do with. You think there's not an agenda behind that law? Do you know the law that they've passed in terms of censorship? That I think it's the they can basically pass a law to tell whatever is inappropriate without it actually being voted in the House of the Parliament. They can just do it as the ministers. Like they've got full control now. I think it's called Class 44. Of
you might want to explain that to the US people and the other people that don't know what you're talking about in layman's terms.
Right. All right, so in layman's terms, basically the government have realised that there's too many people talking and gathering and coming together online to form groups, Facebook groups, protests and stand out against the agenda. So they introduced a new bill called, I forgot what it is, it's data protection. Basically it means if you want to watch porn or anything that's censored, you have to upload your digital ID or a scan of your face with all your details so they can take that, and then they've got a copy of your face. You don't think they're going to use that for the VR face recognition? And then there's certain they've also used it to say there was a riot or something, a protest outside a school, where they basically just censor that information from it ever reaching your Twitter feed, your Facebook feed, your your TikTok or whatever else. It's like censorship through algorithm, and then you can also be arrested for saying something online. So if I said, "Oh, F these Muslims, go back to your own country," if I said that online or whatever, then I could get arrested and put in jail for several years. You can't fly a flag, dude. It's totalitarianism. It's 1984.
Too much fear.
Oh well, baby.
So that's the explanation. You go too fast, guys. You go too fast. Luca, hi, how you doing? All right, brother. Do you want to have your say?
Wait, hello?
Hi.
Wait, sorry, I'm in the street right now. It's a bit like noisy.
It's fear-based.
I'm muting now. I'm gonna go to a park, and then when I'm at the park, it's
Rhetoric.
more quiet. So that's when I'll talk.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, me too. Yeah, so we have a lot of content here that what you're discussing. So
Our first time doing these live.
sorry, I have to look from fear because I'm trying to attach the emotion that's within all of you because that's where spirituality 101 is. And how would you? So I'll go from you, Carlos.
Yeah.
What emotion would you say this?
Hope would save it. Hope. Evil can't defeat hope. Hope is the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to explain. So you've got hope, which is good. Ozzy.
Yeah,
is something you want to
compassion.
add more,
You
or
gotta have compassion.
compassion. Okay. Ivan.
Yep.
It's 2 words: self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Good. And Tiger.
So-
You still with us?
Sorry, what exactly was the question? Sorry.
The question is, I'm trying to get you to attach an emotion with what you've just discussed. Carlos says, what did you say?
Hope. He said hope.
Hope,
Hope.
compassion, self-awareness, and then you, Tiger.
Is self-awareness an emotion?
No, but it can be anything you want. It's not, you can't answer a question with a question. How do you attach it?
No, I just want to respect your question. I'm asking you, the host, what is your actual question? Because that isn't an emotion, so I can know how to answer you properly.
It's from their own truth, so it can be whatever you want it to
Okay,
be.
so it's not just emotion. Okay, so it's basically just a
Okay.
word.
Not just your emotion, then. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So for me, everything comes down to truth. So truth would be my word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then you can see the truth has been changed and mixed up to other people's agendas. Even if you're telling the truth, they can take part of that and change it up.
And that's why you
isn't
need...
it called malinformation now? So you've got misinformation, right, which is you're misinforming. You've got disinformation, which is untrue, and now they've got malinformation, which is basically the truth, but it doesn't fit the agenda. So you can get that comment removed at band. Like, what is going on? It's mate, I can't. I'm moving.
This is
Moving
what...
to it.
This is why you need self-awareness, like the other person said, which I agree with. Self-awareness is very important. Otherwise, you get pulled by the so-called agendas and your emotions get manipulated because you don't have self-awareness. And you believe everything, not you personally, you believe everything you read, everything you see. And in this world of AI as well, we don't know what's true.
But how much does this coincide with the experience itself? Taking away media, all media, how does this emotion drive your personal experience of it? Taking away all media.
Well, I'd say like I've got a 9-year-old daughter, right? And I'll just be honest with you, like, you people called me a conspiracy theorist, blah blah blah. But when it came to the vaccination and that, and I'm unvaccinated, I think I was proven. History will prove me right.
I had to mute
But
myself
I didn't want to have a
because...
daughter because I was just looking down. I'm so self-aware. I was looking at where the world is going, and I was like, I do not want to bring that. I do not want to bring a soul onto this earth, like, for her to suffer.
This is what I'm
I
talking
don't
about.
think
It's
it's
fear-based
future.
talk. It's just fear-based.
But I've still got her, and you know, so I'd say hope. I just need to be hopeful, man. Like, if we can change it, if people
As soon as you say I got love for you, bro, but
then
look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing.
But they keep us distracted, so we'll never focus.
They keep us distracted. No, you have a choice to be distracted or not.
Like the law they passed me.
It's a choice.
Like, if someone finds
Insofar as how much we have choice with our
isn't protest
mind.
The whole point of protest isn't in the actual terminology of
That
protest.
of course throws up thoughts.
Something you don't see fit in society. You're making your voice heard, but nobody's listening. They
Involuntary.
you know,
As I've said to you guys many times, the first thought you have in a string of thoughts, that just appears. But the next thought, you have more control over that one.
You have a lot of, and you go 100 miles.
The reactive thought, in other words, you're reacting to a thought that came. So you have choice in that
I'm trying
sense.
to steer the ship, as to say, so that everybody gets to the same synchronicity as each other, and you kind of get in there, but then Carlos, you kind of divert to somewhere else. Whereas you mentioned about that cartoon, is it a cartoon or
I have no
whatever, about
issue with us talking about immigration as well. However, you can see very quickly it brings out the
just try and keep it short.
finger pointing and anger in people.
No, it's
Keep it short, because I think we are intelligent enough to grasp what you are actually saying. Because when you go from one subject to another subject to another subject, it's like
Now the host is trying to school his.
yeah. I've got ADHD,
You
mate.
are.
My mind runs like 1,000 miles an hour, so I do.
Yeah. So that's where I am with it, you see, guys. So we've got the emotions. So we're trying to get to a clear point. So how does it get to your experiences, your personal experience, taking away all media, as in the here and now? This is where the spirituality comes in, the here and now. How does it affect you in the here and now, taking away all media, even TikTok?
I think that the thing that if you try to take away all media, and when I've experienced, because I've done like 5-day meditations, like with me and my friend, no digital media, and what I experienced myself is just peace, absolute peace. You take away digital media and peace and love, you know, and just such nervous system regulation, and that's what I think we all desire. We all desire peace and calm for ourselves and our
Keep
family.
it short, Ivan.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So we've got, so from there we've got meditation, without the distractions of social media or any media. He found it at peace. Does anybody want to chime in on that? From that,
Yeah, I'd say 100%. I once spent a lot of money on a very, very fancy phone. I then proceeded not to insure it. I lost the phone, and then I was like, you know, I'm not even gonna buy a phone. So I didn't have a phone for about a month. And yeah, man, just like no distractions, no Facebook, no TikTok, just forming real connections, spending more time with my family, being more present
yeah, okay.
in the actual world. Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. Next one. Does anybody want to add to that? So we've got two agreements in that.
Well, for me, I understand the question, but as I said before, I really feel that we can have that. Well, I'll say it like this: we can have peace now if we don't allow so-called entities, you know, media, whatever, to affect us. I'll say that. The peace is always here. It never leaves. It's here, but we're ignoring it.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Ozzy?
Yeah, peace is the thing that you can't have peace if you have distractions, unless you're distracting yourself for the sake of peace.
Yeah, that's great. Luca, if you're still there, or two, do you want to wade in? We can't go back, by the way. So if you weren't listening, you can't really go back.
No, yeah, I don't really know where we're at in the convo, to be honest. I'm a bit lost, but
Yeah, you can stay up, but just mute yourself because we're getting somewhere now. So within the spirituality, without these distractions, you know, who is feeding that distraction?
Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be very consistent with what I'm saying, and yes, there's distraction, of course. I could be sitting in a park and there could be a wasp flying around me. That's a distraction. But I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. You know, there's always distractions, but I truly feel that we are super, super capable of, let's say, reframing so-called distractions and not letting it override our being, our whole being. And I think a big part of it comes down to what we identify as, going back to the immigration thing. Like, you are doing this to me, my identity. You are coming into, you know, you're from another nation. You know, how dare you? You know what I'm trying to say. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who would you say is the cause of it?
Everything comes from self. This is what I'm saying. I'm simply not gonna blame anyone. I'm not blaming anyone. Literally,
You can leave it.
I'm not blaming anyone.
I say it is the government. Look at pop music and just how, you could be the best musician or the best artist out here. You could be the worst, but if
I'm
you
trying to
the
get people
algorithm,
to, not
get that
be
agency.
victims,
Plenty
but
of artists never write their own songs.
they want to.
And then distraction
This
always
is the mind
exists, and
again.
it is personal. But I think they're doing it to stop us from.
It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's about what you are doing.
I think it's the government. The powers that be.
There's no who. It's all you.
Like, the more distractions. So I'd put it like this. The analogy is this, right? Remember the famous Roman emperor?
Roman emperor now.
What do we do to keep?
It's only here and now.
We'll build a coliseum and we'll hold these big games. Look at like sports. Look at like the culture of football, where there's guys that are obsessed with football. Yeah, sorry, but yes, I'd say it's the government, and it's part of it. They keep us distracted.
No, they don't. We
I'm
choose
gonna go
to
quite deep on
allow
this one
people
because
be distracted.
when
You allow
say
yourself to be distracted.
I really believe it's the unconscious. The unconscious is like Carl Jung. So the unconscious parts of our greed, our sense of the ego, like I want more. It's the energy internally on an individual and collective level that's manifested all of this. So the people that are greedy, they want more, so they want more money, and but this comes from the unconscious part of feeling like it's never enough. So it's kind of like it's never enough, they want more. So the manifestation is like billionaires, they still want more. So it's the unconscious parts, and we've been dealing with these unconscious shadows for centuries. Like, look at what humanity has done to each other for centuries. It's the unconscious. It's the deep parts of self.
Yeah, we get that. Very deep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah, very deep. Ozzy?
You have to be conscious, and in order to understand what is attacking you or like what is taking over your thoughts, you can't unconsciously make decisions unless that's how you live. You live where everything is an unconscious decision, and it doesn't matter what happens.
hey, what's the bad thoughts here? Can we just clarify? Like, what is the bad thoughts that shouldn't be entering your mind? I just need to know.
Bad thoughts are anything that make you feel dirty or like you've betrayed yourself.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see, now we're going from the emotions to the reason behind it, or who's causing it. And you all have different answers to that. And thanks for asking that question to him. That was a brilliant question. So that leads me to the collective itself of that consciousness, because we're still on this topic of spirituality. So in that, if that's the case, and we don't get distracted, and now we understand what is distracting us or who we distracting us, because it's different for everybody. What do we take from that? What do we learn from that? So what is good and bad kind of thing from this whole immigration, this racism thing? What can we take from that individually? Because it's obviously that you're not synchronizing together. So there's a reason for that. Because everybody knows that if I started you clapping at different times, eventually you will synchronize clapping at the same time. It's been tested time and time again. So where is it? What is it that keeps us to this subjective truth within this topic?
I'd say because we all know we're conscious and we all, believe we're our own self. I don't know if people are actually religious or actually spiritual. But then when you look at someone else, like, you can only assume that they're conscious by their actions, but you can't, like, you can hypothesize to put yourself in their body, but you will not know what it's like to be them. And then isn't it that every person you meet in life will have a different version of you from how they see you? You could be a villain in some people's heads. You could be a hero in some people's heads. You could be the best dad on earth in some people's heads. You could be the worst in some people's view. But so I don't know how you could judge it.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm conscious. I can only assume that everyone else is.
Yeah, sure. Nice said. Luca, did you want to say something? Because you wrote something down, which I believe to be valid.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, you're basically asking, like, why do we keep going back into illusion, and why do we keep going back into, I guess, negative forces in some way?
Well, our own subjective truth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, subjective truth. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it has to do with. Well, okay, I said because we're all bored, but I feel like in a way it has something to do with.
You like it.
Because
Keep it short, bro. Keep it short.
Yeah, because I feel like the truth is very simple, very straightforward, but it's very, very big. But sometimes it can feel boring or overwhelming, or we just don't accept it. So we just can't accept, and we just want to keep playing and keep, distracting ourselves, because there's a lot of beauty in it as well. That's life as well.
Well said. Keep it like that. Ozzy, do you want to put anything in towards that?
Just the fact that we're searching constantly for validation from others, that will help us realize what in ourselves, what truth we're searching for.
Beautiful. Ivan, Tiger, anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, I feel like, there's, and actually I was attending a workshop where it's like we're afraid of our divine, truthful nature, where we are love. We don't see the abundance that we are, the love that we are. We don't see it. We see fear and we distract and we try pull, but it's like fear that's driving. It's not love. And I love what Tiger was sharing earlier. Like, it's just love. We need to love more. We've got so much to give ourselves and each other and understand.
Leave it at that. You're probably taking Tiger's words.
We come from the same fabric.
Yeah, I feel that we're resonating for sure. For me, we're not in sync because we are overly attached to our identities. And for example, when you said about the clapping, how people will clap together at some point, in that moment of clapping, nobody's attached to their identities, I'm sure, in those experiments. It's not like I'm a Muslim clapping, I'm a black man clapping. They just focus on the here and now.
Okay, leave it at that. Leave it at that. That was beautiful. So we're getting somewhere now. So how can we achieve? Do you know the term grand rising? Does everybody know or understand the word?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah,
elaborate.
I think you all do. Yeah. Do you, Carlos?
Grand rising, grand uprising, ascension. Really?
Yeah. That's it. So how do we get to this grand rising if this is the case that we're always looking at? I mean, like as we've gone down, it's grew. The answers have grown to this next question, which is how do we get to grand rising from our
I'd say that is so hard because at the end of the day, I think, like, you've heard of the term sheeple, right? Yeah. People, the matrix. People are like literally locked into the system. They'll watch the news. They'll eat what they're fed. They believe everything, and they don't see through the veil. They're happy working their 9 to 5 and being a slave and selling their time for money and just being, not connecting with the soul or even having a purpose or fulfilling their dreams. You understand? So I think it's very hard. We can try our best to try and wake people up, but I often think that like I said, the people that tend to speak the truth and praise love. Look at the way Christians are being accosted in the UK. You can't even go pray. Yeah. But basically, I'm just saying it's very hard because there is too many people that are asleep, and we could just try our best to awake. But some people don't want to talk about anything.
Anybody else?
I think we're already there, like, in a way. Like, I don't know what really will change if, like, we might actually just already be here. We just have to tap into it. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure, like, the Buddha's enlightened or whatever, right? But the world hasn't changed, so, but he's enlightened and he's already rose and everything. But nothing's changed in the physical world, so I think we're already here, to be honest.
Anybody else? How do we get there? How do we get to grand rise?
We get there by listening to others and understanding how it makes us feel through what they're saying. So say someone goes, "Oh, good morning, beautiful souls." It makes you resonate with them for a second and you go, "Oh, that person is like they don't care about race or gender or inequality or anything like that, just by that statement."
So, but I like one last thing, like about love and peace. So, have you ever tried this? And I've done this once, and it was if you just go out and like if you're on a walk and you just give random people random compliments on something that you find, like a guy's t-shirt, whatever it may be, you will find that a lot of time you will lighten that person's day. You'll see a smile on their face, and like it's making a positive. Even though it's just a small thing like that, but you don't realize how much a good compliment can affect a person on a bad day just by spreading love.
So, yeah. Anybody else?
I really like this idea of be the change you wish to see in the world, embodying the change by these small actions, talking to people, understanding people, taking the time to listen to others with different points of view, and try Rumi quote where Rumi was saying, in a field between wrong and right, I'll meet you in the middle. It's really about creating that bridge of understanding between each other, ourselves, and bringing ourselves into a deeper self-awareness and bringing in each other, it's like we're together in unity.
Yeah, I like that, Googly. Do the unexpected. I also like that. But yeah, thanks, Ivan. It's valid. Tiger, do you want to say anything? Amira?
Nothing much more to add. Ivan pretty much echoed my thoughts. Essentially, yeah, like I said earlier, be the change you want to see in the world. We have to do. I presume most of us in here wouldn't say that spirituality is just like meditating with no action, for example. So the action part would be actually going out there and being that change, showing that love, and like Carlos said, acts of kindness, it can light someone's day up for sure. I agree.
So after this conversation, will you imply it into your life?
I'm the most cheerful guy. That's what I do every day. So yeah, for sure.
Well, I know Ozzy does. And I know I do.
I'm always laughing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much better to be relaxed and cheerful than to be angry and anguished.
That's why I say you. That's why I call you Nike.
Yeah.
You just do it. Amira?
Well, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go
I
on.
mean, no, I think I was just going to say a quote from a person that was on about like when you expect the worst. Because I used to be I was a pessimist throughout like my early adult life, and I didn't realize how much of a bad effect of laws of attraction it is. But like, if you expect the worst, you experience it twice because you've lived it through in your memory once, and then you relive it. You know what I mean? In real life, when if you just keep if it's laws of attraction, realistically, if you keep a positive outlook, you'll tend to find that more positive things happen to you. It's just I believe that, man.
But there's many methods. There's many methods. That's just one method of getting there. Amira, do you want to say anything? Because I know it boiled you. But that topic boiled your blood. I think you said.
It did, but I just had to work on myself and come to a understanding of what everybody's point of view was and put my own perspective aside.
It was amazing, weren't it? I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah, but I needed to take time away and like capture myself because you know what I'm like. My emotions are very, very huge.
This is it. You see, we attach these emotions to these certain topics, and we went through distraction. We went through a lot of points of the subjective truth, their own truth, and now we've come to a kind of synchronicity where we know how to get there, and it's just a case of are they going to apply it? So the people.
I love how the fact that this has come first full circle, and the kind of conclusion I think we're all thinking of is love, which is beautiful. I love it.
Carlos, I think you've got an amazing voice and you've got a good perspective on things, but can you not interrupt?
It's okay. It's okay. But this is it, you see. Do we implicate it, and how do we implicate it? Because I know that there's a few of us that do. So the points that you amazing people on this panel came with so many different subjective truths. You come to this.
The host is really buttering us up.
It's not even a conclusion because it will.
That's okay. I'm a lovey-dovey person too.
We've got to this spirituality 101, which is love, which is the next topic. If you want to stay for the next topic, and this is it. What is it? What is love? How do you see love? Because we've all got to that love, and it's kind of like who wants to go first? Because we're going to go into. So sorry, Luca. We're going to go into different faculties of love. Should I say? That's what I want to go through. That your understanding of love, your understanding of love, how you perceive it, the different kinds of love, etc., etc. So, who wants to go first on that?
Can I say something that might point to it a bit?
Sure.
I'm just interested. I've been thinking about it. Well, I was just thinking about it in this question and in this what we were talking about. But it was everyone talks about like their relationship with God, but like what's their relationship with the devil, or what's God's relationship with the devil? Like what is that? Because there has to love is everywhere. So what is the devil's relationship with love? Like what is God's relationship with the devil? Does God love the devil? Should we love the devil?
It's a bit too far down the line, Luca.
Is that too much?
You mate, that's
Let's get to that chapter.
We need to go bit by bit. You're sinking the ship. Should I say? Okay. You're going too deep, too fast. Deep, too fast. We have to have a look at what love is to each an individual one of us.
I guess for me, it kind of points in that kind of direction.
Okay.
Universal love everywhere.
Okay. On Google, right, because this will answer your question. Go on Google, type in the Apocrypha of John in the Nag Hammadi.
It's not really a question, it's a discussion.
Yeah, but it'll answer the question.
It's not really a question, I don't know the answer in a way.
Luca, you have to slow down. Right. So, guys, right, we're going to do the same as we did with the other prompt. You can't sink the ship. You've sank it twice now. So, we have to revive the ship and go baby step. So, what is love to you? Or what is love? You know, the feeling, the experience, etc., etc. Just go simple. Don't go straight. Don't start plunging down because we can't follow you. You're talking from your subjective truth now.
Okay, step one. So, what is love?
Say, like, you could say the love for your mother. Yeah? This is how I treat my mother. This is what I think of love towards my mother. Yeah? And then it'll just go from there. And then the next person will go, well, love is, for me, on such and such. It's like you and Carlos, I tend to sort of like just go 100 mile an hour, dive deep down and sink my ship. And everybody's going, well, you know, are we talking, are we going to have a 5-minute dialogue where one person has it all? I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is navigate the ship bit by bit so we get to the same objective truth or synchronicity. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you understand? So that we can all get to where you are, or where Carlos is, or where Ozzy is, Tiger, because it's to do with spirituality. You know, it's meant to make you feel uncomfortable. Mutiny. yeah, I expect that from you and Luca. Mutiny. So, do you understand, guys? So, please don't sink my ship. So, please, somebody start off. I mean, I'll start off if you want.
I could say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, love is like an eternal ship, and it's always in motion and always moving different paths. It's embracing, it's light, and it's everlasting. For example,
Right. I'll give my 2 pence. I'll try and keep this under 2 minutes. So I'd say love is real, but
After 2 minutes.
so there's different stages of love. When you're young, you're probably a bit infatuated. Maybe you mistake that for love, but you're not in love. You're maybe on like a crush and obsession. Obviously, I love dogs. Big fan of dogs. Like the love that you get from a dog, it's like that's just love. You could just tell. Compare that to like I'm almost going so like love for family is different, but then again, I've got one of my best friends. I'm estranged from one of my older brothers, and I've got a friend that's known me for 20 years. That I feel I'm closer to him than I am to my own family. And then finally, my daughter, hands down, I love my daughter to bits, and that is love. So I'd say there's different kinds of love, realistically, and people mistake love. Yeah, sorry, I'm done.
you're speaking from mind, not your heart. What do you feel love is?
Real love is unmistakable. You'll know it when it's there. It's so when my daughter was born, and people always say this when you have a kid, and you'll have all these parents say, "Oh, when you have a kid, it's different, mate. It'll change your life." And I thought, yeah, but like as soon as I held that thing, that beautiful little thing that I made in my hands, I broke down, and that was pure love. And the same thing happened to my mate. He's just had his first son. And I told him, and he did believe me. And then he said, "Yeah, mate." So that's what love is for me. When I held my first granddaughter, That was just
Brilliant.
pure.
Leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. The next person, Luca, if you want to say anything, keep it short. Keep
I
it
said,
short.
I said in the comments, love is truth, and like you said, Carlos, it's unmistakable.
Okay. Ozzy. That's all you have to do is just keep it short. You don't
Love
need to-
is that thing that you find when you're searching through different people in your life, and you see someone, and you go, oh yeah, that's the one.
Brilliant. Ivan.
Love is authenticity, it's truth, it's compassion, it's kind, it's listening, it's deep, it's raw. It's the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience in your life.
Tiger.
Love to me is unconditional.
Brilliant. Right. So we've got a lot of answers there, and they all coincide of the good or the light side of, and the explanations are of the light side. Now, I want you to dig deep down into your psyche. I want you to concentrate on the dark side of love. What is the dark side of love?
Go on, sorry.
It's all right, Carlos. Dark is possessive. It's cruel. It's manipulative. It's jealousy beyond compare, and it's violent.
Luca or Carlos?
Have you gone with it? Okay. Love is truth.
No, the dark side of love.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. Love is truth, and it's unmistakable.
Yeah, you can say that.
Right, okay, I'd say it's obsession, lust, promiscuity, envy, deceit, lying. It goes a lot deeper than that. Like love can cause a lot of people to do very, very, very bad things in the name of love.
Okay. Ozzy?
Bad side of love is like you can pick something up that is not necessarily good and get really good at it, and love the fact that you're really good at it, even though it's not good.
Ivan?
So the dark side of love is power, control, manipulation, power games, lies, deceit, greed, and it's also all like the ego, the self. Like that's like this is me, and there's separation and lack of communication. You know, lack of communication and misunderstanding.
Tiger?
I'll try not to sink the ship, so try and say this quickly. For me, so again, for me, love is unconditional. Therefore, these things like people are saying, oh, you know, it could be twisted, you have certain emotions and things like that. For me, that's not love. That's not love. Love isn't something that does. Love just is. I believe it just is. It's not a doer. That's the mind. I think people respectfully, we're talking about the mind just now. For me, love is like the background to the foreground of experiences.
Sorry. So yeah, I get that. However, with you saying unconditional love,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys, that I'm focusing on Tiger. Wouldn't you say the dark side of love would be the same as unconditional love, or even conditional love?
I don't follow the question.
So basically, unconditional love, if someone were to be obsessed with you and stalk you, but they love you unconditionally, but your condition is you don't want them to be in love with you.
No, that's not what I mean by unconditional. That person who is stalking in your example, they're stalking because that person makes them feel a certain way. So that's a condition. You make me feel a certain way. That's still not unconditional. Essentially, just to make it very clear for everyone, I think I can land it. I think I can land it. Okay, don't let me land it then.
That's the answer to the next question that I'm going to ask, to be honest. So again, so with you saying love is unconditional, so the dark side of it, would it be the same as unconditional, or would it be conditional love? I'm trying to find the opposite to with the question of what's the dark side of love, because we had love and they all spanned on the light side.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you understand?
I do hear what you're saying. But what?
Say on symbol, so opposite to that. I mean, you can still have unconditional love as dark, but then that's gonna.
I disagree.
Okay, so what would be the dark side of unconditional love?
Well, this is what I was trying to say. Unconditional. Sorry. Yeah. Logically, you might simply say, okay, the opposite of unconditional love is conditional love. I hear you. I do. But what I'm suggesting to you is, if there's a condition, it isn't love. I'm literally saying there is no opposite to unconditional love. That's what I'm suggesting to you. There is no opposite.
Okay. Yeah, so it would be same.
Well, no, that's not what I said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We can leave it there. It's okay.
Listen, you should have let him land the plane, bro. I thought we were in a ship. What's going on? Now we're in a plane.
We're on this ship. We're not on.
I'm trying to mute your plane now.
Carlos, will you stop muting? Will you stop muting my ship? And stop hijacking my ship and steering it yourself. Oh my day. We're on anything. Oh my days, guys. Oh, you're killing me. Honestly, you know, you're wasting my children growing up. Anyway, I forgot the next question now. What's the next question?
You were talking about the opposite of light love and into dark love, and then you were moving on to something else, and then Carlos.
that Carlos. So yeah, so it would be, how do we learn from that then? So we have the good love and we have the bad love, or the bad focus of love, which Tiger doesn't agree with. Yeah, so we can't focus on his answers because he's coming from a different faculty, let's say. That's the only way I can explain it. So how do we learn from those answers that you're given on the light and the dark? How do we learn from that? What is there to learn from that? That's it.
I mean, I'll just say, well, there has to be an opposite to everything. Good and evil, yin and yang, right, left, up, down. Do you know what I mean? So black, white, that's how I believe. Like, I do believe in karma. You generally do good things. Doesn't matter when, but good things will come back to you. And if you do bad things, it may be in the next life, but I think bad things will come back to you. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, but how do we learn from that?
I mean, you can only learn from your own personal experience and try and just evolve yourself, man. Like, I think so, because we're on about like loving. So, right. So, have you ever loved someone and been in love with someone but hated them at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm just saying, like, it's all part of the circle, isn't it? Like, imagine I've had it before where I'm in love, but I hate them for something or a particular act. But you're still in love with them, and then surely that does go into the danger zone of unconditional love, where if love is not love needs to, it's a circle, isn't it? It needs to be reciprocated. If you love guns and you get obsessed with guns, that's probably not going to be a good thing if you go to a gun range or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just going off on one again. just stick to what you say, because that was really good what you said.
I forgot what I said, mate. My ADHD is through the roof. I'm sorry. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that. Just stop. Just stop when you feel that that's it. Just stop, because it's just on there. So anybody want to add to how they learn from love? You can give an example, just like what Carlos did.
So I've got something in terms of like I try to convert this phrase, we are all students and teachers of life. So if I'm receiving like what I perceive as genuine, authentic love, then I'm learning something from that. And if I'm receiving the negative polarity of that love, that from the darkness, I'm learning something about that other person, and I'm learning something about myself. So it's kind of like I just convert it into lessons, and then I just feel the energy. How would I desire to be loved? And there's a question that I love to ask myself: is what would love do? So it's just kind of like learning from the process. So it's kind of like my journey of life. Like I'm 50 years old and my definition of love has changed so many times and I'm still learning about it. So that's it.
It looks like I've been left in charge. So I've heard all your points, but I want all of you to look deep within yourself and not speak from mind, and tell me what your perfect love looks like.
I'll be very short with this one. My daughter lives in Poland with my ex-partner, and it would just be just to spend time with my daughter. That's it.
Luca?
I feel that's a really hard question. I feel like I can't really answer it. I can't say anything concrete. It have to be what I'm experiencing right now.
And what are you experiencing right now?
Well, right now I'm alive in a park, sitting down. There's like some good trees, like some birds and nice sky. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Luca. Ozzy?
Yeah, perfect love. Is that what you're looking for? What the idea of perfect love would be?
You to look deep within inside yourself and tell me what your perfect love is.
That would be how a dog looks at their owner. Even if they're treated badly, the dog still loves them unconditionally.
That's beautiful, thank you. Ivan?
So for me, it's about authenticity and truth, and being in a community or a tribe of people that, you know, we share truth, authenticity, and we're just held in that vibration of love, that understanding and that compassion.
Again, absolutely beautiful, thank you. Tiger?
Hello. So again for me it's unconditional. If there's a condition, then for me it isn't love.
Thank you very much. Carlos?
Wait, Tiger, can you say that again? I didn't.
Yeah, sure. For me, as I said earlier, love is unconditional. Therefore, if there's a condition on the love, to me, it's not love. For example, you said you have a daughter, I think, or a child, and you had that unconditional feeling, right? That's pure love, beyond mind, beyond words, beyond experiences. That's pure love, unconditional. Perfect love.
Oh, okay.
The answer I was looking for, Tiger. not just a mind thought. Does that make sense?
Well, it's your opinion that it's a mind thought. You understand that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
The way
cool.
that you used your words were very mind-like, because you said, well, I want it to be conditional. Love isn't conditional, is it?
I didn't say that. I said the opposite. So maybe you're not listening, respectfully.
Oh, well, we're listening, and that's what you said.
No, I said the opposite of what you just said. I think everybody can attest to that. I said love is unconditional. This is why there needs to be a moderator.
Okay, thank you.
Deep breaths.
So I'm just eating. So yeah, Amira is a moderator. She asked the right questions and etc. etc. She's probably just a bit nervous. So the next question. Sorry, I'm eating. That's why I asked her to steer the ship. Now we're going to go on to love, as in love of the collective. So now you've shown us how we learn to love. Can we implement it on this grand rising of being part of the collective, etc., etc.? Because we've gone from immigration, believe it or not, and we've gone deep into immigration and the problems within that, and now we've gone into love, and we're going to the same thing.
He said he was eating. He's not taking
The
it
same
serious.
thing as where. How do we imply it towards the collective or the grand rising or synchronicity of it?
So I'm going to go, I'll just make my quick point. I think it's so very hard in today's society with the amount of distractions. You look at rich versus poor, religion versus, there's so many things that they use to divide us that even if you were to be like, I'm out there, I love every human being on this earth as far as I'm concerned. I give money to homeless people even though their intentions may be bad. I don't look at the end result. I just, it's hard though. It's going to be very hard. It's not like it's not possible, because I said hope, but yeah, it's going to be very hard. I think it's pretty simple actually. It's just trying to have that love within, and then if you have it within, then outwards. The more inner work you do, the more parts of yourself that you love and get to have that unconditional love for, the more you're going to express it like outward.
Anybody else?
So that's the first time I've invaded somebody's life, so to speak. It was fun. But as you could probably hear, a lot of the times, as I've said before, the truth is always simple. The truth is always simple. The reason there's problems in the world is because we collectively attach too much to our identities as if that's what we are. No, it's what we are using in society, but it's not what we are. If I use a tennis racket on a tennis court, I'm using it to play the game, but it's not, the tennis player is not what I am. Even if you're a professional, it's not what you are. You put down the racket at some point, but we're keeping our identities with us all the time, 24/7, and that's what's creating conflict. It's that 24/7ness. It's not just using it in appropriate situations. For example, your name is an identity that can be used. But when it comes to things like race, I mean, that's made up anyway. As I've said many times, it's literally true. It's arbitrary. It's not a biological thing. So things that some so-called identities are simply not based in unity or have too much hold over the simple truth that we are one. Okay, a name is a label. Of course, there's no problem with that. By any stretch of the imagination. But certain things like nationality, another thing, again, is completely made up. And if you've come across this notion of, for the first time, that nationality is made up, well, look at it. Did nature say a certain country is America, a certain country is Japan, a certain country is Pakistan, not India? Did nature say that? Or did man? Did woman? You know the truth. It's man, okay? Or people. Yes, people are of nature, but the so-called line or border that makes one land a certain country, another land a certain country, that itself did not arise through nature. Is in nature didn't say, oh, this is England, this is Scotland. Okay, the mind said it. And the mind is not a product of nature, so to speak, as in the so-called physical world is what I mean when I say nature. The mind is consciousness. The mind is non-intangible. Okay, so these borders are coming from mind, not, again, just everyday nature. Although, however, I'm saying that, but I'm realizing as I'm saying that, again, to stick to truth, that which does not change, which is my definition, I could also say that everything is nature. But then if I say everything is nature, so including the mind now, then again, it comes down to that unity. It still goes back to the unity, that everything is one. Do you see that? No matter how you look at it, that man created borders, therefore it's unnatural to say and identify with a certain nationality because it's man-made. Okay, and then if you remove the borders, then we're left with oneness. We're left with oneness. Or if we say everything is nature, including our mind, then we're still left with oneness, that we are still just one because we're all nature. Do you see how the truth always goes back to itself, because it cannot be anything other than the truth, which is why I do my best to speak it. So there's nothing much more to say, really. Yeah, give me your questions in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you'd like me to join on other people's lives, give my opinion, or set up my own lives. And that's it. Take care. Have a wonderful day or evening, my fellow expressions of consciousness.